Welcome to 2026. This is going to be the year of citizen journalists really taking the reins. I think we're already seeing that. They're going to get real active, exposing a hell of a lot of fraud. And I think 2026 will also be the year that fraud gets exposed. We're already seeing it. And people will get very pissed off. And they might even revolt. I've seen a lot of talk on social media the past couple of days about a tax revolt 2026. Not financial advice, not any kind of advice. You make your own decisions, but people are pissed and they want to do something about it and they want to stop being slaves. Serfs on planet Earth. That's basically what we are. That's basically what we have been for how many years, decades, centuries even, on this freaking slave planet. They just want us for our money and our energy. These damn vampires running things, parasites. Dude, I think this year's going to be good. You know, every single year, every new year that rolls around, you'll get people that complain about the previous years, and yeah, it's always a roller coaster, right? There's highs, there's lows. Some years suck more than others, but I think 2026 might not be that bad. Might be part of the eternal optimist in me. I try to balance out the optimism with pessimism sometimes. I'm not an optimist or a pessimist. I'm a realist. That's what they say, right? We'll see what happens in 2026. But at the end of the day, depends on our choices. Depends on how we act, how we behave, which will determine how this year will go. And I think that that boiling pot is about to boil over. And people are pissed off enough to where they're finally starting to realize, well, ain't nobody coming to save us. Ain't no politician, nobody's coming to save us but ourselves. We got to do it ourselves. So, what up? I'll hang out in the chat for a minute, then we'll get into it. Whatever happened to the sealed indictments count and map from when Q started posting? What about Serial Brain? I don't know what happened to Serial Brain. Man, it's been years since I've been aware of him doing anything on the internet. He might have been one of those. There was quite a few of those that sort of just faded away, at least faded offline. And on the sealed indictments, from my understanding, they weren't necessarily sealed indictments. That was kind of a misconception going around. They were more sealed court records, like general court records. But I don't know, man. Maybe some of them we've seen over the past couple of years get unsealed, and maybe some are still waiting in the wings, ready to go. It would be probably cooler if it was real vampires. Yeah, we just got to deal with frickin' psychopathic humans. Those scum. But it's all good. Us and the Rebel Alliance will fight back against the Galactic Empire, against those Sith. I want election integrity in 2026. I do think we will see that. And part of that, I believe, will be at the hands of the citizen journalists. Some of those citizen journalists. But I do think we will also see exposure of that from the top. Why is my hard-earned money going to fraud? Damn good question. Might be some of those psychopaths. It's not just the psychopaths in power, the quote-unquote elites, deep state. Part of the blame is on them. Part of the blame is also on us for staying freaking ignorant and apathetic for so long. But also, you just got a lot of selfish jackasses. Like these Somalians, right? They're not elites or anything. The elites just kind of turn a blind eye and let it happen and probably smile psychopathically like, but you just got a lot of selfish fuckwads in society, right? And it's not just immigrants or any particular race or religion or culture, but everybody. Amongst all race, religions, and creeds, selfish jackasses all over the place. So, people just want money, right? Kind of unfortunate that our, wage slave system has created an atmosphere where we just value money so much. On one hand, we need to value money because we have to freaking pay for all this shit. But on the other hand, it's just the way the system has been set up. And you got to hand it to those psychopaths, right? It's brilliant. Those psychopathic elites that set it all up the way they set it up. Brilliant. They made us value money so damn much and made us all so damn broke that we have to value it. It's unfortunate, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we can do about it. Checking in from FEMA Region 33. What FEMA region is the Pacific Northwest? I don't know. Let me know what my FEMA region is. And some of you enjoy having me back on YouTube. I appreciate you guys still being here. All right. Yes, we'll talk about the tax revolt, all of our taxes going to fraud, a lot about more of that Somalian fraud, and touch on some international matters. Ukraine, Russia, Iran, and then finish up, if we get there, if I feel like talking about it, the drama queens of the internet right now. Shawn Ryan versus Dan Crenshaw. The latest of their drama. They were supposed to have a debate today, I guess, but one of them backed out. I don't know exactly who backed out. They're pointing fingers at each other. My gut would tell me I'd probably take Shawn Ryan's side here, but what I've learned over the years is that when you feel like you want to take a side, usually both sides are being stupid and wrong. So these days, I take nobody's side. No group's side. All right. Starting off, man. Sponsor of today's show. That is my digital money. With the way inflation and currency devaluation are going, smart investors are turning to Bitcoin not as a gamble, but as a global hedge backed by major funds, banks, and even governments, quietly stacking digital assets. After reaching an all-time high of 124,000 in October, Bitcoin has pulled back. Up a little bit today, though. Starting the new year off green. Many see this as a perfect opportunity to invest before the next uptrend. When you invest with My Digital Money, you'll get US-based support and secure offline storage so your crypto stays protected. You can even open a crypto IRA or roll over your existing 401k to enjoy valuable tax benefits. They can help you with crypto. They can help you with precious metals as well, gold, silver, etc. And they will help you with the cold storage, getting the keys, getting the coins in a cold storage wallet, offline storage. Don't let inflation steal your future. Protect and grow your money with My Digital Money. Go to jordansathercrypto.com. You can download a free crypto investment guide. Link will be in the description below for this website, jordansathercrypto.com, with My Digital Money. All right, guys. Cool. Just checking the chat. What's up from Shasta County? Beautiful place. Been to Shasta a few times. McLeod, Redding area. Do enjoy Northern California. Haven't been there much. Only a couple of times, but beautiful part of the country. I love the West Coast, man. West Coast, best coast. And unfortunately, that seems to be one of the regions of the country that a certain political party is absolutely destroying. But we'll save it. All right, man. Somalian fraud. HHS wanting to freeze childcare payments to the state of Minnesota. They have. They don't just want to. They have frozen all childcare payments to the state of Minnesota. And Deputy Secretary Jim O'Neill then states, funds will be released only when the states prove they're being spent legitimately.
And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame.
Yeah. You could also say the same thing with We the People. Our funds will only be given to the government when they prove they're being spent legitimately. Makes sense? Can we also say the same thing? All right. A lot of people are asking that question. I'm seeing a lot of posts like this. Tax Revolt 2026. Every American should be asking themselves these questions. Number 1, why am I paying taxes on my wages? Number 2, then paying sales tax to spend my money on the money that was already taxed. Then number 3, then paying income taxes on my money that was already taxed and paying property taxes after I already paid sales tax on my property. Even if you, quote unquote, own your property, if you don't pay property taxes on it, they take it from you, right? So do you really own it? Do you really own it? God damn. Insane. This guy has some thoughts.
Tell me how this is freedom when you pay rent to the government on the house that you already own. We live in a government tax farm. You got income tax, you got property tax, you got fucking sales tax, you got capital gains tax, you got, what else we got? Inheritance tax. Every angle you turn, they've got their hand in your pocket. Different names, but it's the same fucking scam. You get fined for earning a living. You get punished for buying something. You get squeezed for investing into your family's future. And your kids get robbed the moment that you're gone. I mean, think about it. Why should you have to keep paying just to live in a house that you already own? I mean, why should you have to hand over money just for the privilege of buying something that you already worked for? And why should your family get gutted when you try to pass on what you built? Here's what most people don't even realize. When income tax was first introduced, it wasn't permanent, okay? It was temporary, and it was 3%. And now they're taking nearly 40% of what you make before you even see the fucking check. And that's before they hit you with property taxes. That's before the sales taxes.
And a lot of shit that has sales tax. You're paying what? City, county, state, sales tax. And then if you buy gas, there's taxes on that. Shit, what do they tax a gallon of gas in California? Like 50 cents to $1 per gallon. And if you want to buy alcohol, that has extra taxes. If you want to buy tobacco, that has extra taxes. If you, it's insane. Consumption tax only, in my opinion, aka sales tax. Consumption tax only. I do not believe we would require any kind of other tax, property tax, income tax, none of it to pay the things that we need to pay for as a society. We've been sold the lie that we need to raise taxes to pay for things, but no, really, I think we're learning that most of that just goes to slush funds, goes to fraud for daycares, or it goes overseas to fund studies on how to turn the frogs gay in Nigeria. I don't know, whatever Doge uncovered. And who knows where else. Somebody wants a link to that. I will drop it over there on YouTube. Here you go. That should get you there. It's wild, dude. I saw these statistics. Seem reasonable. Some might say, oh, those numbers are wrong. But honestly, seems reasonable. This is shocking. U.S. collects $2.4 trillion in income tax, but spends, as per this commenter, $1.5 trillion on fraud every year. If we didn't have to pay for fraud, only $900 billion would need to be collected. This means anyone with less than $500,000 in income could pay literally $0 in income tax. We don't need to raise taxes. We need to cut fraud. You might say, oh, no, not $1.5 trillion per year on fraud. But we saw $9 billion just in a few neighborhoods in Minnesota, Minneapolis. If $9 billion is being siphoned through just a few neighborhoods in Minneapolis, Minnesota, you add in the few $100 billion of waste that Doge uncovered, and that's a drop in the bucket. You add in the private contractors that charge the government $3,000 for a coffee cup, $700 for a saline bag, healthcare companies overcharging for basic shit because, no bid contract, I can charge the government whatever I want. I'm going to lobby some senators to give me the contract, and I'm going to upcharge this, and that money goes into my pocket. So fraud, waste, abuse, man, $1.5 trillion, I wouldn't doubt it. If 60, 70% of the yearly federal government budget could be cut, and we still, pay for everything the military needs paid for, pay for whatever else they tell us, whatever the hell our taxes pay for. I don't freaking know. Roads. Yeah, man. And interesting numbers as well, right? If the maths here are mathing right, if we didn't have to pay for fraud, only $900 billion would need to be collected. What's the magic word that we've been hearing about a lot over the past year? Tariff. When Trump introduced his tariff idea, a lot of folks in the media were ridiculing it, saying, you can't raise $2 to $3 trillion per year with tariffs. You don't have to. Cut out all that fraud. And maybe, just maybe, Trump's external revenue service, funded purely with tariffs, could very well pay for everything the federal government needs paid. And we could completely get rid of the IRS, Internal Revenue Service. Maybe, just maybe, that is very possible. And maybe, just maybe, we could see that over the next couple of years. Speaking of fraudulent actions with our tax dollars, a Somalian immigrant indicted for laundering millions of U.S. taxpayer dollars in Minnesota is allowed to keep running more businesses stealing our money while he's awaiting trial. His wife even has businesses stealing our tax money that are allowed to keep operating. It's an assisted living facility. It's owned by a man indicted for laundering $1 million in the Feeding Our Future scam. I never donate to those at the grocery store. I don't donate to shit anywhere. I don't care if it's a non-profit that makes it sound like they're saving the frickin' planet and all our kids. Bullshit. Prove it to me. Feeding Our Future. Is Feeding Our Future the one that Monsanto created? Or Monsanto was involved in? One of those. Oh, I think that's Feeding America. No, that's Feeding America. Oftentimes at the big box stores like Safeway or Albertsons, I'll see, do you want to donate to Feeding America? That's the Monsanto one. Hell no.
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no.
Anyway, back to our Gandhi Mohammed here. Owns the assisted living facilities, milked a bunch of money, was able to keep doing it even after he was indicted. Freaking glorious, man. All right. Comment in the chat earlier said wants election fraud exposed in 2026. Well, this comment says roll your own. Honestly, fun fact that I was looking into the other day. Completely illegal to grow your own tobacco, I think, in all 50 states. You need licensing if you want to start a business and sell it and all that shit. But just to grow your own tobacco, you can do it. And one tobacco plant, grown, matured, and cured, can get you around 200 to 300 cigarettes. So quite a few. Cure the leaves yourself, roll your own. And then also tobacco is fairly hardy, I think. All you need is about 3 months of no frost at night, and it could grow pretty decent. You need like a Mediterranean type climate, like warm. But yeah, I might try growing some, honestly. Once the government starts getting involved in our drugs, that's when you know society is collapsing. So, grow your own tobacco, grow your own pot if you can. I've been pondering around with the idea of brewing my own wine too, making some mead, honey wine. I don't think it's that difficult, honestly, when I was checking into it, but be careful when harvesting. Do it right. Be careful. Yeah, for sure, but You can also make sure there's no garbage pesticides sprayed on it, right? So, I don't know. Grow your own, brew your own. Take your drugs into your own hands. All right, election fraud getting exposed, and the citizen journalists out here helping with it. Journalists in Fulton County, Georgia, have uncovered a massive homeless ballot harvesting operation by Democrats where single addresses are being used to register thousands of homeless people to vote in a Soros-backed NGO. And, you know, we talk so much about this Democrat versus Republican thing. I'm done. I'm kind of done with the labels. This homeless ballot harvesting operation was being ran out of a church, mind you. So you've got religious people that suck. You got plenty of conservatives that suck. Democrats that suck. But I will say, there's like no reason to call yourself, no legitimate reason to call yourself a liberal these days, at least.
Why would 1,000 people be registered to vote from one single location, 201 Washington Street Southwest? And when you come here, you realize that this is actually a church. What was happening when we were looking through the voter registration list from the previous election cycle is I noticed well over 1,000 people registered from one single location. Come to find out, it's a church. When we looked into it further, we realized what was actually happening here. It's actually a very well-organized plan by Democrat donors like George Soros. George Soros poured in millions into an organization here in Atlanta that did what? They went around this entire place and signed up all the homeless people. It's during the day right now, so you don't see all the homeless people, but usually this place is filled with homeless people. So an organization that supports Democrats received money from people like George Soros to go and register homeless people to be able to vote from one single place. And to make things even crazier, if we turn around, this place is directly across the Georgia Capitol. All it took for me is to find the voter list and to see why is there more than 1,000 people able to register from one place to realize that something is wrong here. The building's
right across the street from the Georgia Capitol. Amazing. And mind you, Biden won, quote unquote, won Georgia by 11,000 votes in 2020. You can't make this stuff up, folks. Ooh, I like that. 2026 is the year of the boycott. Yeah, I like that one. Peppermint Patty. I like that one. We'll find some catchy phrase to call 2026. But yeah, I do think a lot of vote fraud will get exposed to. Fraud in general. Minneapolis Somali daycare fraud scandal is genuinely something else. 2 of the activists protesting against the exposure went off script, and both accidentally revealed that there is fraud going on. This is insane. So these are, like daycare activists. I guess there was a town hall, press conference, meeting, whatever, in Minnesota the other night, and
there are wait lists.
we gotta watch these. Okay. They took the mic and they did not do a good job.
There are wait lists for these programs that are years long. There is fraud. There is
What? What?
Years long. There is fraud. There is the fraud that is occurring is not at the hands of families.
What an odd thing to say.
There's fraud. Freaks out.
There is fraud. There is.
She almost starts crying.
The fraud that is occurring is not at the hands of families.
You're right. Where are the kids? There's no kids in the daycares. Clearly, there's no families.
If child
Oh, and this one. Oh my God. This one is peak.
If childcare is cut, I'm unable to work or go to school. I understand fraud is bad.
This reaction just I don't know what to say about it. How can you have this kind of reaction by saying the simple words, fraud is bad?
If childcare is cut, I'm unable to work or go to school. I understand fraud is bad.
Look at that diamond ring on her hand, by the way. If childcare is cut, I am unable to work. How much you think that one cost her?
If childcare...
Seriously? There wasn't even a Freudian slip there. She just said fraud is bad, and then her eyes got big. Oh no, what did I say? Everybody claps. The clapping Karens. Oh, is that the same lady behind her that messed up?
We need to be looking
there.
at who's in
Oh,
power.
it is. Look, we got the turtleneck.
is cut.
Miss
I'm
Turtleneck
unable
there.
to work or go to school. I understand
I wanna see
fraud
her
is
reaction.
bad.
She's almost laughing. She's trying to hide her laugh. Oh my god. Now the Somali daycares in Minnesota are making false 911 calls on journalists, claiming they're in grave danger, causing Minneapolis PD to respond at high speeds with lights and sirens. Oh no, the iPhones are dangerous to our Leering Center.
That if they're on your property, they have to leave and not.
Are those no trespassing signs new? And they put a big fat security camera right there. Oh, private property, private property. Private property? You're getting public money, bitch. Associated Press covering up for our Leering Center. The director of the ABC Learning Center says the viral video alleging fraud by influencer Nick Shirley is part of a political campaign against Somali Minnesotans.
I was just arriving the center when I saw somebody outside, and I saw some man with mask, wearing a mask. And
wait, did he say I saw a man wearing a mask?
Some man with mask, wearing a mask.
Do you see a man wearing a mask there?
And some people knocking the door. We don't see the bodyguard.
I didn't see anybody wearing a mask. And as Greg points out here, the Associated Press filmed a science wall with a bunch of random stock photos on it and said to themselves, yup, this looks like a totally legit daycare to me. Look at all those completely legitimate photos. I'm sure all of that is exactly what's going on in that daycare. You got your photos of the Asians, you got your photos of the blacks, you got your photos of the whites. Just Adobe stock photos. Totally legit daycare, right? They probably put those photos up yesterday. They probably got all this stuff yesterday. Look at that. That is a brand new carpet. You can almost see on the sides of the carpet there how it's still First of all, look how fresh that is. There are no footprints on that. But the side of the carpet almost looks like it's still a little rolled. Like when you unroll a new carpet and it's not flat yet. That's brand ass new. Dude. What do we got next? Oh, out here in Washington State. So, journalists and citizen journalists in Washington State are now visiting addresses operating as Somali daycares that are receiving hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxpayer funds, only to find private $500,000 homes at the locations with no sign of daycare operations. This home, if this is in Washington State, that is way more than a $500,000 home. That home is probably a cool million at least. At least. That is not a $500,000 home in Washington State.
Oh yeah, I was trying to find the local daycares.
Dude, and look at their cars too. Are all of these cars for this home? Why is there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars, maybe 6, if you want to count that Tundra back there? That's a Beamer. It's a nice Beamer. You got your Jeep. You got your pretty nice Tundra. Got a couple minivans.
Oh yeah, I was trying to find the local daycares.
We already know about what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
This is a licensed property. If you have a complaint, go to the state.
Okay, I was trying to find out if you guys are a daycare. I was just trying to see.
Well, you don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to. If you want to know any questions, just go online and ask who you need to ask. But
no, there's nobody online to ask, so I'm just trying to ask you guys.
No, you don't have to ask us anything.
I don't have to?
If you have any questions, go
I
to the
do.
state.
I have a question. I was just asking you guys.
And
Okay, you guys were listed on the website and a bunch of websites, so for daycares. So.
Oh, that's what it is. Then you don't need to go door to door.
It's yeah, no, you can. Yeah, I have. You can go door to door.
So if you have any questions, go call the child care check, and they'll give you whatever information that you need.
Okay, so you guys aren't a daycare then? Not a public daycare, right? Okay, I didn't think so.
Don't report our property either.
Oh, I can, yeah.
Does that look like a $500,000 home to you? Dude, is this a separate home over here? Yeah, it's got to be a separate home. That's not attached. Damn, dude. Got like $500,000 worth of cars out front. Lo and behold, Washington State Attorney General Nick Brown appears to threaten journalists for investigating Somali fraud. He says here, my office has received outreach from members of the Somali community after reports of home-based daycare providers being harassed and accused of fraud with little to no fact-checking. We're in touch with the State Department of Children, Youth, and Families regarding the claims being pushed online and the harassment reported by daycare providers. Showing up on someone's porch, threatening or harassing them isn't an investigation. Neither is filming minors who may be in the home. This is unsafe and potentially dangerous behavior. I encourage anyone experiencing threats or harassment to either contact local police or our office's Hate Crimes and Bias Incident Hotline. You can go royally fuck yourself, Nick Brown. As CanCon points out here, sounds like the Attorney General of Washington State needs to familiarize himself with his state's own laws. RCW 70.160.020. A public place does not include a private residence unless the private residence is used to provide licensed child care, foster care, or other similar services on the premises. Even if it's a home, a private home, if you're getting public money to run a daycare facility, then you are opening your home up you should be opening your home up to transparency. And it is perfectly acceptable for somebody to come up and make sure things are fine there. Plus, if you look at the video footage of our friend here, number one, he stays on the sidewalk the whole time. He did not go up to someone's porch right there. He stayed on the sidewalk, which from my understanding is public property. He did not go up to somebody's porch. And obviously with the video, he did not harass or conduct any hate crimes. He was just checking on what is technically a public facility in the state of Washington. Nick Brown is a bitch. Poor little Joey. Poor little Joey just needs some daycare, and he's not going to find any daycare in any of these states. I think about Joey every day. I'm sad for Joey. We will find Joey some daycare. But not in Minneapolis, and apparently not in Washington State. Then you got a Politico reporter out here suggests Somali daycare owners could justifiably shoot people for asking questions. This was his post. Politico reporter, apparently. Josh Gerstein. Interesting last name. At some point, the amateur effort to knock on doors of home daycares intersects with robust stand-your-ground laws. What the fuck? Community note, stand-your-ground laws apply only when someone reasonably believes they face an imminent threat of death or serious bodily harm. If lawfully present, knocking on a door alone isn't a threat. Additionally, Minnesota has a duty to retreat, not stand your ground. Community note for the win. Plus, I mean, if you're running an in-home daycare, you're really going to shoot somebody. I mean, I guess if you're dealing with like an axe murderer, sure, I'll protect the kids with a handgun or a rifle. But, you know, I don't think just somebody standing on the sidewalk with a cell phone camera requires you like shooting him in front of 30 kids that are supposed to be there. But I mean, with these daycares, there ain't no kids there, so it's not like you're going to be shooting anybody in front of a young audience. Rhino, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine's office dismisses daycare fraud allegations as cost of doing business. This came from what? Spokesperson for Ohio Governor. Remember, Columbus, Ohio is another epicenter of some of this fraud allegations. Spokesperson for Ohio Governor said, it's not accurate that we're seeing any sort of surge. If people are out there who could not contemplate that people were trying to defraud the public through daycare centers, I understand it's new to them, but it's been known to the state for decades. Did the Ohio governor's spokesperson just admit that they've known about the daycare fraud there for decades? So therefore, we have robust anti-fraud measures to try and stop this. Clearly, they're not very robust. This is something that is unfortunately the cost of doing business. No, it's not. Because businesses can be run ethically and honorably. Are you just like who operates in their life and in their mindset with the assumption that, okay, every single business is corrupt, no matter what, every single one. So therefore, do they then assume their own business that they run is corrupt and then conduct corrupt behavior because of their mindset that, well, if everything is, then I am too. I think that's it. That's how these people operate. That's the like mental gymnastics bullshit justification they use in their brain to rationalize their own evil selfishness. Oh yeah, Mike DeWine, get wrecked. Like I like the header photo that Gateway Pundit uses here. Friggin' deer in headlights. Oh no! Is all of my backdoor payouts from letting this fraud happen going to stop? Yo, shout out to Frodo Baggins! Sending some Bitcoin on the Rumble. Thank you, man. Yeah, we got Rumble tips engaged on the channel. So if you would like to send over any biddies, it's much appreciated. That little tip button will open up the Rumble wallet address, and you can send some Bitcoin or Tether USDT. So much appreciated, Frodo, my man. My man. All right, I gotta take a sec. I gotta take a break. It's just insane amount of retardation we're going through. We got a little bit more on the Somali fraud, then we'll get into some international matters, and we'll finish up speaking about this Shawn Ryan, Dan Crenshaw catfight. Real quick, one thing I want to let you guys know. I have spent the last, I've been working on this for a couple of months now, on and off, but really over the last 2 days, I've been deep into getting this website launched. I moved Conscious Strength from Squarespace over to Shopify, and I launched this website yesterday. Super stoked for it. Stoked to share it with you guys as well. Squarespace is cheap, it's easy, it's basic, but it was too basic for what I needed, and Shopify just has not only more functionality for me, but it'll have more functionality for customers as well. So this is now launched. It's ready to go. I have a few new products on there. Whole Food Vitamin C. Parashite is herbal extract of wormwood and black walnut, clove, Oregon grape, parasite destroyer, parasite killer. And then vitamin B17 tincture. Yes, go do some research on vitamin B17. Interesting stuff. I won't say much more about it at the moment, but those are the brand new products. And then also, one of the reasons I switched over is because on Squarespace, people could not subscribe to multiple products in one checkout. And on the new Shopify page, you can. So if you'd like to subscribe to multiple products in one checkout, you are now able to. And one last thing real quick is that I'm going to have to cancel. If you were subscribed to the old website, that's the only pain in the butt is that I could not migrate subscriptions. So unfortunately, I will have to cancel everybody's subscription that were subscribed to a product on the old site, and you will have to resubscribe on the new one. But to resubscribe, down in the description, there is a coupon code where you get an extra 20% off the already 20% off for subscribing. So that is the coupon code right there, save 20. And that applies to the first subscription. So you'll get like 40% off resubscribing on the new site. And that promo goes for 2 weeks. So I'll give you 2 weeks to resubscribe and kind of migrate over with me to the new site. All right. Can I put together a book, pamphlet, PDF on how or what to use the items you sell in? So, yes, that has been something on my bucket list, is to do pamphlets. But you can either get to this through... Oh, that should not be a merch page. Well, I got to fix that. YouTube. So, got some YouTube videos. How I use DMSO, best foods for dudes. I'm uploading now to the Conscious Strength YouTube channel. So I'll be putting some product explainer videos. And then, so in video format, yes, I'm doing that. A book, pamphlet, PDF, that'll take me a minute. PDF is a good idea. I would like a physical pamphlet, but PDF works for now. So yes, that probably won't be for a little while. But the videos are coming, so you can go find Conscious Strength on YouTube. When it comes to DMSO, I've only ever used it topically. I've heard of people who use it internally and mix it with things and all that. Me, I'm just not comfortable enough with it yet, to be honest. I've only ever used DMSO topically. Me personally, I would not put DMSO in methylene blue water. I don't think it's necessary. But if you choose to ingest DMSO, I would just do some research in it. I don't think it would be bad, but do some research. Just me, I've only ever used it topically. The guy whose daycare got broken into last night, his doc registration was taken to the break-in. What's the chances? Hey, we are a non-violent resistance, okay? Non-violent, non-criminal resistance. But film them, shame them, expose their fraud, make fun of them, meme them till they cry. Tough love, right? Tough love. What do we got next? Nick Shirley, a little bit on him. You know, there's a natural sense of paranoia in the truth alternative conspiracy media movement, and on one hand, that's a good thing. It's good to be a little bit paranoid in life. Start learning about what's really going on in the world. It'll make you a little bit paranoid. That's good. You keep your head on a swivel a little more. But, of course, people take it too far. And there are quite a few minds in the truth-seeking movement that pendulum swings too far. And they get a little schizophrenic, they get a little paranoid, a little too paranoid. One good thing happens, and then they freak out and assume it's some psyop that's meant to screw us all. Or they'll blame everything on the Jews, or whatever, right? Or it's the aliens, and I don't know, man. 1,000 examples I could use here, but point being, I've seen some takes on social media of people thinking that Nick Shirley is some CIA shill, and he's been groomed. They made him in a factory. I don't know. I don't think so. I think Nick Shirley is a young kid who walks around with a camera and wants to expose some stuff. And yeah, sure, maybe part of him wants to get some fame for it, but the way he's doing it feels honorable to me. Although I do think that he is very young. And I think he's 23 years old, from my understanding. And he doesn't, this whole social media influencing thing, you can get a lot of fame very fast, and even for people way older than 23, it can be too much for them and make them go a little wonky, and they don't know what they're getting into. Nick Shirley, like this right here, this is a good example. He's in New York. I'm guessing this was at some point within the past couple of days. Nick Shirley was in New York reporting, but he deals with a mob. He deals with a mob in New York.
Are you against Palestinian children dying?
Yes, 100%.
Are you against, yeah?
He's lying.
Genocide. Are you lying?
Say free Palestine.
Why is she saying you're a liar?
Say free Palestine. Say free Palestine. Say free Palestine.
Say free Palestine.
Okay, titties.
Oh, God, we got titties. Damn it. We got crazy titties.
Yo. Huh?
I never said anything like that. Say fuck Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, so point being, yeah, he's just like deer in headlights look, and he doesn't know what he's getting into. And he kind of caves to the mob a little bit there, and he starts saying what they want him to say. I don't think Nick Shirley is some shill. But it's also not his fault that every podcast in the world like wants him on. He goes viral. And then Patrick Bet-David and Tucker Carlson and everybody wants him on their show to capture on that viral fame, right? So their podcast can get some clicks. So when you see one person start doing the rounds, doing the podcast circuit, it's not necessarily them, it's the podcasts that are just trying to hop on the trend. I don't get bad vibes from Nick, but I do think he is, little young and little young, dumb, and full of cum, as they say. But hopefully he'll learn, and he'll start. He'll get seasoned, especially seeing them nasty, floppy New York titties. Boo. Things that make you go boo. Who's that? Ron White? What blue collar comedian said that? Things that make you go boo.
You can't fix stupid.
Somalia's, this is a doozy. Oh my gosh. Somalia's UN ambassador who previously oversaw adult Medicaid also served as CEO at a company reportedly placed on a federal fraud exclusion list. All right, let's say that again. He is Somalia's ambassador to the UN right now. Abukar Dahir Osman. When they call them Star Wars people, that's why, because that is a name you would see on Tatooine. Abukar. He was a healthcare administrator in Ohio, of all frickin' places. No wonder Mike DeWine is shitting his pants right now. Let's say this again. Slower. Maybe a little louder for the people in the back. Somalia's current ambassador to the United Nations used to be a healthcare administrator in Ohio. There is another healthcare company in the same suite as his with a different name, and multiple others at the same address, all with the Somali names. I see your comment, Emmett. I see you, Emmett. You can't make this stuff up. You've said that about 1,000 times. I should ban you for spamming, but I'm not going to because you're telling the truth. Just keep spamming that comment because you're 100% right. You can't make this stuff up. I did not see this meme. It's like one of them aliens from Mars Attacks. Yo. Why you do this, Abakar? Jeez. Somalia's ambassador to the UN. Wonder what his net worth is. Crazy. Managing direct. Cincinnati. Mind you, Cincinnati. Senator John Kennedy brings Somali fraud to the Senate floor, blames Minnesota Democrats. I believe some Congress people are trying to subpoena Tim Walz. I don't know if they did, but I know they're at least attempting to. And Tim Walz is attacking HHS. When in doubt, Orange Man bad, blame Trump. We spent years cracking down on fraudsters. Oh, did ya? Oh, did ya? Trump is politicizing the issue to defund programs that help Minnesotans. Oh, Tim Walz, Tim Walz. Retard. More fraud. More fraud. HUD just found $5 billion in fraudulent payments in 2024 alone under Joe Biden. Payment error of over 11%. $5 billion in inactive accounts. $77 million to deceased tenants. $150 million to non-existent Social Security numbers. Almost $300 million to excessively high rent. Wow, it's not like that $150 million just disappeared. Which George Soros slush fund did that go into? That's $5 billion in 1 year. HUD found just in like these programs. So when we're talking 1.5 trillion per year in pure taxpayer fraud, it'll add up. Yeah. Oh yeah. We could get there. 1 trillion at least. 1.5? Yeah, probably. Then the question is, where does it go? Who does it go to? What country do they live in? Is that money even on this planet? Elon Musk is reportedly going all in, funding Republicans to help Trump take back full control in the November midterms. Elon Musk confirms that. Essentially confirms it. Back on the bandwagon. Bros are teaming up. Teaming up again. Ugh. Check the chat one more time. Oh, I see that GIF, Fever Flav. Good choice. In this political world, if you get noticed and go viral, be careful what awaits you. That goes for any side, any political party, right? Yeah, be careful. It's this social media thing. Not just the political world, it's the internet world. And our culture, our social dynamic, and our brains even, we're so new to this internet thing, and even newer to social media. Internet's been around, 25, 30 some odd years. Social media for 10 to 15. It's still, hasn't even been around for a generation, really. And we're still learning how to use it and use it responsibly and carefully. And a lot of people do not. This social media thing it's a powerful tool, and it's not good or bad. It's just a tool. Some people use social media amazingly and get very successful, and they don't destroy themselves or fail. They win with it. Some people destroy themselves with social media and just royally F up their life. So it's the internet. It's the internet world. Yep, and if you get noticed and go viral, be careful what awaits you indeed. And I've been on both sides of that. I've used social media and done freaking amazing, awesome shit. And you can, there's been times where social media didn't use it so well. So, what's up, man? Haven't gotten a notification from me in years. Nice. Been back on YouTube for about 2 months now. After 5 years of the ban, so glad to have you back. Iran looks like there's a big citizen revolution going on there. Man, maybe 2026 is the year of the uprising. I think that's what will coin it. The year of the boycott, that one wasn't bad. The year of the uprising, maybe. We'll find some phrase. We'll find some phrase for it. Iranian regime kills protesters as unrest and calls for regime change spread nationwide. Where are we getting this information from, though? The Critical Threats Project at the American Enterprise Institute and Institute for the Study of War recorded 31 separate demonstrations. All right. Can we trust those, though? That'd be my question. Those sound real... Those names sound way too professional. Sound pretty damn globalist commie. The American Enterprise Institute. Just saying. Question everything. Always see the source. Like, where are they getting... Who are they getting this information from, or where? And did they verify it? How did they verify it? But maybe. This might be legit. Huge development. Trump vows to assist and rescue peaceful Iranian protesters if regime continues to shoot and kill them during current uprising. Apparently this is a video from 3 years ago, though. Supposedly. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I could see it being true, I suppose. Never been to Iran, though. Don't know what it's like. Over to Ukraine. The CIA assesses that Ukraine was not targeting a Putin residence in drone attack, contrary to Kremlin claims, sources say. But Russia allegedly has decrypted flight plan data from the Kiev drone. And allegedly, Russia handed over that flight plan data to the U.S. Their Ministry of Defense handed over the encrypted keys to U.S. representatives. Their military intelligence chief transferred the data to America, proving Ukraine conducted a drone attack on Putin's residence. Yeah, again. This is coming from Russia Today, mind you, which is, by definition, Russian propaganda. Propaganda is not always bad. It's just another one of those tools. Can be used for good and bad. Yeah, I don't know, man. DOJ is reviewing 5.2 million more pages of Epstein files. So we'll see how many redactions we get. Maybe all of them. 5.2 million files. We'll get them in 30 years, I guess. I don't know. DOJ wants to have 400 attorneys review those 5 million pages. So 1 million pages each to review, huh? Nope. That math didn't math. 10,000-ish. How long would it take one person to review 12,500 files. Papers. I don't know. For a few hundred a day. A few weeks, maybe. Man, I don't even know if I want to bother with this Dan Crenshaw, Shawn Ryan thing. He said, she said. Dan Crenshaw blames Shawn Ryan for canceling. Shawn Ryan, I guess, is blaming Dan Crenshaw. If you guys want me to play this video and read the Crenshaw tweets, I will, but I don't know if I'm in the mood, to be honest. Is music playing? There we go. My show only just posted on Rumble? You sure? Comments been coming in for a while. Don't care about that crap. Yeah, I don't know if I do either. What about the 27 ambassadors getting recalled? Trump recalls 27 ambassadors from Africa, Asia, Eastern Europe, Eastern Europe and Central America. Looks like he's just firing a bunch of people. They call it standard process. Here's the article. They call it standard process, said the State Department. Who knows? Oh, yeah. One of the countries was Somalia. Oh, shit. What happened? Where did all my tabs go? Hold on. Is everything still working? Sorry. I don't know what just happened to all my tabs. Well, sorry guys. Something just fried my computer. All my windows just pooped on me. Wah wah. Let me see if we're back. Are we back? Chat, are we back? Hold on. We're back, but I just have to get these loaded up again. That was weird. All right, OBS didn't go down, so the stream's fine. But all my browsers just shit the bed. So, yeah, I don't know. Blame Brave. When did I wake up? Haven't followed me as long as Red Pill. I would say about 2011. Yeah. I mean, there's a couple different answers to that. I watched Zeitgeist in high school in like 2008 or 9. And Zeitgeist did a number on me, but I wouldn't classify myself as really like questioning or searching at that point. 2008, 9. I would say like official answer is 2011. That's when I went deep down every rabbit hole I could find. Big Pharma, Federal Reserve, New World Order, friggin' everything. Free energy, UFOs. Yeah, that was it was a little weird there for a few years. And that was before social media, or really anybody talked about this on social media, so very alone. So yeah. 2012, 13, 14 was rough. 15. Must be over the target, yeah. It's the CIA, it's China, it's the Jews. They're coming after me. Yeah, it was probably a good amount of podcasters out there that would say that kind of shit. No matter what happens, they would find a way to virtue signal about it. No, I hope this computer's not getting fried. I don't want to get a new computer, man. I should back up all this shit this weekend. Force that movie on everyone. Zeitgeist? Yeah, that was a pretty good one. They got like 3 or 4 sequels now. 3 or 4 renditions of Zeitgeist. I watched Thrive in 2011-ish, 12-ish. I think that's around the time it came out. And I watched it soon after it came out, was Thrive. A place I was working at in like 2011, 2012. One of the, I guess, managers that was working there, like pointed me towards the desk. He's like, open that. I opened it, and there was some, because we were talking kind of conspiratorial stuff. And there was some Alex Jones documentaries in there. InfoWars documentaries. One about Obama, something, Fall of the Republic, maybe. I tried watching a bit of it, and it wasn't for me, dude. Alex Jones' personality, the whole sensationalized style of the InfoWars reporting almost turned me off right away. And I got more into the kind of hippie conspiracy type stuff, right? So Thrive and Sirius by Greer. That came out in 2012, I think. Stephen Greer's Sirius doc. I really liked Stephen Greer's work there for a couple years, few years, but then he became kind of shilly to me. But back at that point, there's just a lot of blogs, man. A lot of obscure underground. I was following Rumor Mill News a bunch. Shout out to any of you guys that know about Bibliotheca Pleiades. Yeah, that website's a hell of a resource. Am I married? Negative. Ethos with Woody Harrelson. Nope, never seen that one. Yeah, a lot of the research back then were just blog. There were no podcasts, man. At least conspiracy podcasts. YouTube videos, sure shit wasn't a thing back then. 15 years ago. At least I had the internet, though. I mean, I can't imagine people waking up before my time, before the internet time, when they had to hold the meetup groups and shit. Bro, the UFO movement is so splintered now. Yeah, maybe we'll get disclosure by 2033. Maybe 2050. Maybe. But first off, let's define whatever the heck disclosure means. There's no definition for that. Like, what does that even mean? It is a vague term. But yeah, the UFO movement is super splintered, and I got a bad taste in my mouth for about all of it. I'm still very interested in the subject, but I think some people make it way too political, some people make it way too bubblegum, and they're just normies who eat up whatever the government or media tells them about UFOs. Yeah, I'm a truther, I'm a truth seeker, I'm trying to get disclosure. Like, bitch. But they're still very normy with it. And you've got others in the UFO community who just go off into schizophrenic deep end, where the channelers and the Galactic Federation of Pleiadians, super secret space whistleblowers hang out. And yeah, I mean, I was there for a minute, many years ago, but came back to real world. So yep, I didn't have Art Bell. Those of us awake before the internet had the radio. Art Bell. If you find a resource of like old Art Bell shows, send me a link. I would love to find just like a master list of an audio link and a description of the show where I could go back and listen to some Art Bell. Because George Noory is too bubblegum for me. He's a blowhard. Am I an only child? No. But I kind of grew up one because my brother's considerably older than me. Damn good question. What does disclosure look like to me? I'd have to ruminate on that one. I was most excited about the UFO community because they pushed on advanced energy, then it just got annoying. I would agree with that. And now you have so many normie brains going into getting into UFO movement. I guess you could say that now a lot of folks in the UFO community don't even understand the idea of freaking 0-point ether energy and electrogravitics and all that. So they think all the saucers they see in our skies are aliens. They can't even comprehend that some human project somewhere might have developed one. So, normies all over. Man, am I being interrogated, chat? Am I being interrogated? What is your goal, Jojo? What is your goal? Whatever disclosure means to the government, it will not include honest answers. Even if it is an honest answer, everything's so compartmentalized that an honest answer could still leave out a shitload of important information. Right? Right. What do you think it is, the flying saucers? What do you think it is, the flying saucers? Most of them in our skies are our craft. I'd say most of them are ours. Not all of them are ours, but most of them. Although that still leaves a whole lot to be discovered right there too. I mean, of the ones that are ours, triangle saucers, whatever shape they made them in. Who, where, when, how, of the man-made ones. And then of the ones that aren't ours, well, that's a whole can of worms there too. You've never seen a UFO? Are you in the minority? Maybe you have and you just thought it was a helicopter or something. Or a drone. Kind of the opposite these days though. People see drones and helicopters and crap and they think it's some magic craft in the sky. How bad is the Somali fraud in Boise? Apparently it's worse. It's worse than I thought. It's worse than I thought. There does appear to be some oddities in the Treasure Valley. Oh yeah, 2019 East City. Good times. Good times. Really liked when I was with John and Zach at GART. Well, we will be together again in Nashville in April. The next Badlands Media GART is going to be in Nashville April 9th. It's like the first or second week of April, so should be fun. I've never been to Nashville. Super stoked. What's the weather like in April in Nashville? Is it nice? I've never been to Nashville. Are we inviting Ben Shapiro? Oh, is that where the Daily Wire is based? Oh, I didn't know that. That went over my head. I get it now. I get it. Yep, I'm going to get my, collect my $7,000 check from the Daily Wire. I better say something nice about Netanyahu tomorrow. Greetings from Kitsap. Oh, interesting. That's where I grew up. B-Town. Am I familiar with Dr. Shiva? Yeah, whatever, however you say his last name. I'm familiar with him. I haven't checked in on him or come across his stuff for years. I had problems with him years ago. I don't exactly remember the issues I had with him. I just remember there were things that didn't smell right with Dr. Shiva. I could look it up. I'm sure I have posts in the database or something I could dig up that would jog my memory banks and remind me as to why I wasn't a fan of Dr. Shiva. But there was something. But that was many years ago. I don't know what he's up to or what he's doing these days. So I try to not hold grudges too long. I don't always take my own advice there, but I try. Because he eats curry. I'll be honest, man. Yeah. I don't mind Indian. I kind of like Indian food. Dude, when I went to college, the 1 year I went to a state university before I dropped out because I partied too hard, I had a random roomie. And this Indian guy. He was awesome. Freaking hilarious. He would cook Indian food. It's actually damn good. I like Indian food. You liked it when I exposed the shills and plants? That was helpful. Clickbait of the week stream this Sunday. We'll do it. I think I got enough content to, I'll spend some time this weekend digging through stuff. Clickbait of the every 2 weeks now, pretty much. A little too much for me to do it every week, but I can do clickbait of the every 2 weeks. So, Sunday evening. Shiva attacked RFK Jr. on a regular basis. Interesting. Do I remember that? Yeah, I haven't come across Shiva stuff in a while. Did he really invent email? Did Dr. Shiva Ayurveda invent email? I would press the doubt button on that one. You fell for Simon Parks once. Then you got bitch slapped by me. That's okay. I do it out of love. I wish I had somebody to bitch slap me about 12 years ago. Because I fell for a bunch of Nazara bullshit in 2012, 2013, and mass arrests. David Wilcox blogs. Mass arrests are coming right around the corner. They're happening this summer. 13 years ago. And I fell for some dumb Nazara shit. I was also falling for Alex Jones' sensational bullshit, saying that the Jade Helm military exercises are cover for the deep state to put us all into FEMA camps. They're going to repurpose the Walmarts and turn the Walmarts into FEMA camps, and they're already trucking in caskets. Millions of caskets to the Walmarts that they're going to turn into FEMA camps. Jade Helm is cover for all of it. Do any of you remember that? Please tell me somebody here remembers that. That was one thing that set up a red flag for Alex Jones in my head. And that was before I was ever on YouTube. This is back in 2014, 15. Yeah. Yeah, a bunch of people remember that. Yeah. That really started making me look at Alex Jones side-eyed. Like, I think you're full of shit. How do you pronounce she legit? I say she. She legit. I guess some people say shit. Like she legit. I say she legit. I don't know, man. Potato pefricantado. All right, guys. I'm tired. I need to get some food. Oh man, a lot of good nostalgia in here tonight. We gotta do this again. We gotta take a trip down memory lane again. I'll be back here on, Clickbait of the Week on Sunday, if you're available. If you're bored, come hang with me. But, Monday. Be here Monday. Appreciate all you. We're going to have a fun 2026. We're going to have a fun 2026. Good times. All right, guys. I will see you on Monday. Appreciate you. Go follow on Telegram, Twitter. They're probably the main ones. X. Sorry. Telegram and X. I post on True Social too, Trump's platform, but it's pretty much all just copy and pasted stuff from Telegram and Twitter, but it's daily. Instagram, you can go follow on Instagram for videos and stories and whatever shoot posts get over there. So Telegram, Twitter, Instagram. Any Pilled streams next week? Yes. So there will be a lot of streaming next week on all the platforms. So nighttime streams on all of them, morning streams on Pilled. All right, guys. Go check the links in the description below.